Okay. Very good evening, all of you. Hope you all are doing well. Let's start with today's session. I welcome you all to this Java full stack development course. Now, whether you are a fresher who wants to enter into a corporate world by cracking campus interviews, or whether you are a working professional who wants to upgrade skills, or maybe you want some good opportunities, better salary, or someone who wants to switch their career, like some are in non-technical and they want to enter into technical field, or you are a trainer and you want to enter into development field. All of you have taken the right decision today. Okay, I'll start with very simple question. Okay, I'll start with today one simple question, that have you ever wondered about how all these applications like Amazon, if you consider, or you consider banking system, or you consider job portals. There can be many. I've found out, I've just highlighted with three, how all these applications are actually working, right? If you consider Amazon, it's a famous e-commerce platform. You register, you browse products, you add into cart, you see your cart, you check out, right? You see, you track your orders, so many things. Like you put into a wish list, cancellation, so many things are there in this Amazon platform. If you take banking system, right? In banking system also, you are doing transactions, you are transferring amount from one account to another account, right? You check your statements, you fix any fixed deposit, you're booking a fixed deposit, you take loans. So many activities happen under this. You take a job portal system, Naukri is there, so many Shine and so many other famous job portals are there. Indeed, right? You register, you put all your details over there. Then there are different companies, they put their availability, then you search, you apply, you get response. So all these systems, if you consider, one question might be coming in mind, how these all systems are working, right? So these all systems, if you consider, there is a complete system behind it. Okay. And this system is made up of many things, especially the four important things are there. One is the front end part, the UI part. UI means what we see and through which we interact. The login screen, the registration page, your welcome page, you browse the products, the products list are there, right or no? You view your cards, you see your settings, and so many things are there. The UI part, right? Then the second is the backend part, where the actual logic is written to interact with this front end. Like when I register, I put lot of details, my name, email, phone number, so many things. And then all that things are collected by your backend. It generates some query and stores the data. It gives you the reply back. Login system is there. The checkout system is there. For everything, some backend code is written. And the database where the actual information is stored. The user's information, the customer's information, the product's information, their orders information. So many things are recorded and kept. So that is the database part. And the fourth part is business logic. Getting business logic is implemented in backend, but that business logic is also to be decided. Business logic means the rules. Like if you take an e-commerce platform, business logic will be what will be the offers, promo codes, how the discounts are to be given, what the calculations will be there. Okay, if you take banking system, then how interests are calculated. So many things are there. So the rules and the calculations, the formulas, they all come under business logic. So all this thing makes those applications which I listed. And this whole thing, if you are learning, you will call yourself as a full stack developer. Getting? So in short, I hope you got it that if you have a knowledge of UI design, you have a knowledge of writing backend services, you have knowledge of dealing with the database and handling the business logic, you can call yourself as a full stack developer. Okay? So I hope the basic thing you got it. Now, quick introduction about myself. Okay, this is Ajit More. I'm located in Pune, and by qualification, I'm computer engineer. I'm, I've done my engineering in 1998. So more than 28 years, I'm into software training. So my profession is software training. Okay, I've trained more than 10,000, more than 10,000 students have trained and have made their career. Many have entered into the software field. Some are doing freelancing. Some have started their own startup as well. Okay. So basically into software training, mainly into programming languages. Like I started career with C, C++, data structures, PHP, even Android app developments. Okay. So a lot of things I do freelance project work as well, but mainly into training. Okay. So that was a short introduction about myself. What companies expect today? Companies are not expecting that you know all the syntaxes, like you know if loop, if and if else statement, a for loop, or how to write a class and all. The basic, only syntactic knowledge is not expected. Today, industry expects that you should be able to build applications, complete applications you should be able to build. You should be able to solve real life problems. Means a hypothetical case study is given and you're solving, not like that. I think you take so many businesses in the surrounding, right? If you take a grocery shop, you go to a salon, you go to the ice cream parlor, everyone needs software. Today, everything is digitized, right? You go anywhere in the surrounding, you take a bakery, you take, as I said, you go to article products are there. Cloth shop you go, everyone is digitizing. So if the company say that this is our client and we have to make a software for them, so you should be able to talk with them, collect the information, understand the case study, and develop and give the complete system to them. That is what the company expects. Okay? And you should be able to understand the whole system, what the UI part should be, what the backend part, everything. Okay. And work confidently. Confidence is very important. Okay. You should be confident about what you're doing. Okay. You should be able to confidently tell what is being implemented. Getting? And you should be able to confidently understand what the client wants. Okay. So general expectations are this: company doesn't expect only syntactic knowledge. And that is what my goal is, that I just don't want to teach you the language. My intention is after learning everything from me, you should be industry ready. Industry ready is the main intention. Okay. Now, what I expect from you. Okay. My expectation is you attend the sessions thoroughly. Don't skip the session. Don't get disconnected in between. Complete session you have to attend from start till beginning. That is one main thing. Every day you have to attend the session. Perseverance is needed. You need to have patience. You need to have perseverance till first day till the end of the course. Never miss anything and attend the sessions regularly. Don't in between get disconnected. That is the main intention. Second, active practice. Okay, now initial sessions, frankly, initial 5 to 6 sessions will be lot of theoretical knowledge because we have to gain lot of basic things like what are object-oriented concept, procedure-oriented, history, features. So little bit theoretical. But once we start with the first Java program, everything will be hands-on, guys. Everything will be programming. Okay, maximum things will be practical oriented. So whatever I'll be doing it, you try it immediately. If you're doing it along with me, well and good. No, find time, practice whatever assignments I give, solve it. Whatever MCQ test I give you, please try to attempt. Getting? Because as I said, we want to make you industry ready, right? So engage and practice along. Whatever exercises I'll be solving, you try it. Whatever I give you for your practice, do it. Okay. And the third thing what is expected is stay curious. Just don't listen the sessions. Okay. Have some curiosity questions. Create some questions in your mind like if I do this then what will happen immediately. If you don't want to ask, if you have little bit you're cautious about like how I'll ask, put it in the chat window. Maybe at the end of the session I'll read everything, or you personally message. Okay, and if you're confident you can unmute and you can ask me, sir, if I do this what will happen, or is this also the possibility? Okay, or if you are facing any challenges, ask me. That is what, ask questions. Without asking question, you will not learn anything. And keep exploring. 10 things I've told you, find out some more on your own. Use AI tools, use books. Okay, I'll give you links, I'll give you material to read. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so my expectation is this, that in the entire course, you will follow this thing. You will attend the sessions completely. You will keep practicing whatever I tell you, you keep doing it. And the third important thing is you will keep asking. Okay, so if you have understood whatever I've told you, no problem. Okay, but if you have some doubt, please ask. And as I said, immediately, if you don't want to ask, you can ask whenever possible. Okay. So I hope some basic background I've told you that what is the full stack development, right? And for whom the course is. Many might be thinking like, is this course only for newcomers? Ideally, it is for everyone, as I said. Now we will go through the entire roadmap. What all things we are going to learn in this whole course. Okay. The first module will be related to core Java. This will take time, but this is going to create foundation because the entire language concepts will be learned here. And these concepts only will be useful in your frameworks and in the advanced Java concept. Okay. So in this, we'll be learning from the very basic, like what is paradigm, what are programming paradigms. Okay. Then procedure oriented, object oriented, then OOP concepts, history, features of Java, first Java program, data types, control flow. Okay. Arrays, classes, object, constructors, and all. Okay, then inheritance, polymorphism, then interfaces. What are interfaces? Then collection framework, stream API, all that things will be covering here. So it will take time, but as I said, it's very, very important part. Okay, so the fundamentals in that will cover with the history, features, data types, operators, even Java operators and all are to be understood very well. If else, switch case, for loop, while loop, do while loop, and all. Arrays. On this also a lot of exercises because many times they ask questions on arrays. Strings, classes, objects. Here we'll be learning about constructors, then overloading. then inheritance, abstract classes, interfaces, all that will be covered here. Then making your code robust through exception handling. Then an entire framework will be learning called collection framework. Means here the ready data structures are there, which you might have studied in your data structures course, like array list is there, linked list, maps, then set. Okay, so all that will be learning file handling, multi-threading, and stream APIs. Stream APIs in current scenario, stream APIs are the favorite topic in the programming rounds. When you move to the programming round, many companies ask questions on stream APIs. So don't worry, we'll learn all that things. What are the common questions asked? I'll be telling you. Then we'll move to the advanced part. Advanced part, not much in this. Kind request. Please try to join on time. Okay. Because it gets continuously distracted. Now, means I'm teaching and then someone again joins. Okay. So kind request. Please try to join on time. Okay. So moving to module number 2. Here we will be understanding something about database connectivity, how you can write a Java program which can interact with MySQL. Then some web related concepts like servlets, JSP. Then we'll understand something about client server model. What is HTTP request, HTTP response? What are different request methods? All that will be doing this. Okay. Now, though industry don't expect anything like servlet and JSP, industry wants everything on Spring framework, Spring and Spring Boot. But to understand that, these things will be very useful. Okay, means if you have knowledge about it. So we will not go in too much depth, but at least we'll know what a servlet and a JSP is. We have to invest our time very much in Spring, getting because that is the industry requirement in the current scenario. But to understand all that concepts, we need to have a prerequisite. You should have some knowledge about JSP servlet and all. So we will understand this and then dive into that part. Okay. Then we will start with the front end part. Some modules will start parallelly also. Okay. Like when we are covering with core Java, we are about to finish. Maybe we will start with the front end. Here we will be learning HTML, CSS, the UI part. Then JavaScript will be learning. Then how to handle the UI part through DOM manipulation. And one front end framework we are going to learn, that is React.js. Okay. And through this React, how we will be calling Spring services, that also will be learning. But again, to be frank, HTML, CSS and all, I cannot take direct live sessions. Some recordings I'll be providing for HTML, CSS. I'll be in detail teaching you about JavaScript, but some homework part you have to do. So I'll give you some recordings of HTML, CSS and all, and you have to go through it. Okay, because time factor is also very important. So some things are there which can be done by you people, I'm sure. Okay. Then we will move to the fourth module, which is very, very important. That is Spring Framework for developing web-based applications. Okay. So in this lot of things we have to learn. Spring Core will be learning, Spring JDBC, Spring JPA using Hibernate and all. Okay. Spring MVC. So using that, how we will develop a complete website. Okay. A complete dynamic website will be learning. Spring Core, MVC, Spring Boot. Here we'll be learning Hibernate and all. Then how we can write REST APIs and we can test it in a Postman tool that I'll tell you. And then this API is only how we will fetch them in React application. That also will learn. Okay. Then interview preparation simultaneously will go on. Okay. We will be going through. Now, in this also, not necessary everything I'll take live. I'll be providing you with the material. You have to simultaneously keep preparing. Okay. Many technical questions, then coding questions. Okay. Then we will be taking some mock interviews and all. I'll invite some people from soft skills part and all for improving your communication skill and all. Meanwhile, we will be developing such application where we'll connect with the front end and the back end. So using React, we will create our front end part, and using Spring, we will create the backend services and the database part like MySQL and all. So all that we'll try to integrate. So front end and back end integration, handling authentication, we will learn the basics of deployment, okay, and then projects. So here my contribution will be less. You have to develop. I'll be giving you case studies, some hypothetical case studies I'll give you. You have to solve some mini projects also, some major. One or two mini projects also I'll solve and show you. One major project we will do it, and then other than that, some more case studies I'll give you. You have to solve it. Okay. And in this, you have to apply everything what you have learned. Okay. And in this all modules, I have not told you anything about SQL. So I assume that you have some knowledge of SQL, but no, then I'll provide you one 15 days course, which will be absolutely free. Don't worry. A 15 days course of SQL in which you'll be learning completely everything about SQL from basic till advanced. Everything, joins, window functions, stored procedures, triggers, everything, views. So that you have to do it parallelly. That 15 days sessions I'll be providing you as a recording. You keep watching it. Meanwhile, we will be learning Java part will be going on. And meantime, you keep doing that work also. Okay. Okay. So I hope everything is clear. Just give me quick confirmation. The modules part and all are clear to you. I need confirmation from your side. It has to be interactive because I told you the three things we have to do. Okay, attend session completely from first till last. Second, do practice. Every time you have to do practice. And third, I told you, be curious. Keep asking. Always some innovative questions or curiosity questions should keep coming. Okay. Generally, I don't watch chat window. It will be very good if you unmute and you answer me. Okay. So that the interaction is there. Your voice also will be recorded in my intelligence system, right? The AI does the same thing, right? It keeps training itself. So my brain also keeps training in that way. Okay, so I assume everything is fine, guys. So we'll proceed with the
Yes, sir.
sure. Okay, good. Others also, you have to interact. Guys, without interacting, no one is going to give you a job, right? If you want good job, you have to speak. Don't bother about the communication skill and all. You develop it. Okay, you have to develop it. It is not inbuilt, correct? So you have to keep developing that things. Keep reading newspapers, read novels, talk with your friends. Okay, so when you communicate, without communication, nothing happens. Communicate with your parents, communicate with your siblings, communicate with your friends. Okay, communicate with your neighbors. Okay, if you are working, talk with your teammates. When you communicate, you get to know so many things, right? And sometimes in communication, some problem if you're facing, you may get the solution also if you communicate with someone. Okay. So let's now start with the actual course. Okay. Now, directly talking about procedure oriented programming and object oriented, little bit some terminologies I want to tell you. Like, first thing is, what do you mean by paradigm? Okay, paradigm. Paradigm. It is paradigm. Spell out like that way. So, what do you mean by paradigm? Paradigm means methodology of doing anything, whatever work you want to do. So you follow some methodology, right? So that is called as paradigm. Like when mom prepares any food, so depending on the type of food, she follows the paradigm. No? If she's going to prepare a South Indian food, the paradigm is different. The methodology is different. No? She has to ferment one day back and then do it. If the food is Mauritian food, it will be different. A continental, an Italian food. So every type of recipes are having different methodologies. Okay? So paradigm means methodology. And we also have programming paradigms. Programming paradigms means methodology of writing programs, a procedure or a method for developing programs. So we'll call them as programming paradigms. I hope you understand, right? So there are basically two types of programming paradigms. Now, each and everything in slide form I'm not giving because some things are prerequisite. They are all elementary things which you should know, but just as a revision part I'm taking. One is an imperative programming paradigm. Okay. And another is declarative. Okay. So programming paradigms are generally classified as imperative and declarative. Now, what do you mean by imperative? Imperative meaning what to do and how to do. Both is programmer's job. Means if he knows that this is the problem to be solved. So what the problem is, he knows, and the algorithm or the procedure for solving that problem is also to be written by that programmer. Getting? So basically, imperative means what we want to do and how to do. Both is the responsibility of programmer. In case of declarative, programmer is only bothered about what to do. How to do is the job of some other systems. Some other systems are there. They will take care of it. To that system, you just have to tell what to do. I'm not concerned about how to do. So in case of declarative, we don't build algorithms and all. We don't build procedures. We just give the instructions, what I want to do. Okay. So generally who come under imperative? Scripting languages, then all procedure oriented languages, object oriented languages. Okay. All they come under imperative category, right? So imperative category, very initial unstructured languages, then structured language, then comes procedure oriented, object oriented, okay? Scripting languages, they all come under imperative category. Okay, so C, C++, Pascal, Basic, PHP, Python, okay, JavaScript, they all come under imperative category. And declarative, I hope you know about SQL. SQL is a declarative language because in SQL, you just tell what to do. You're not bothered about how. How is the job of DBMS? DBMS will take care of implementing that command. You just give the command and the command is executed by the DBMS. Okay. Then I hope you know about HTML. Many say, is HTML really a programming language? So it is not a procedural or imperative language. It's a declarative language. Here, it is a tag-based language. You just give the tags, and the tags are interpreted by your browser. Like I give tag angle bracket B, hello world /B. So browser knows that this hello world is to be displayed in bold. So who is interpreting that tags? Browser. Here we are not writing any algorithms. No if else and no switch case and no for loops and no temporary variables. Only the instructions. Okay. So XML, HTML, SQL, they all come under declarative category. Okay. And many other old languages were there in declarative category. Very old. Like when the first language Fortran came in a high level imperative category, at the same time, Lisp and Prolog, Haskell, they are still used in AI game development and all. Haskell and all is still used in uh, chess game is there, chess board game and all. So many game development still Haskell is used. So they all come under declarative category. Then natural language processing is there. So in natural language processing, Prolog and all are still used. Getting intelligence systems, they still use those languages. They come under declarative. Okay, so I'll not go much into detail because our main goal is to learn Java, isn't it? So what will happen? When I start talking, so some topics may get elaborated and all. So you may think, is it necessary? So I quickly switch to the next thing. When I realize that there's no need of so much detail about it, I'll quickly move to the next part. So I hope you got the concept of what is paradigm. Paradigm meaning methodology of doing something. Then we have programming paradigm. Programming paradigm means methodology of developing programs. Okay. So generally there are two programming paradigms, imperative and declarative. Imperative, what to do, how to do, both programmers' job. Declarative, only bother about what to do. How to do is the task of some other systems. Okay. And I told you like procedure oriented programming, object oriented programming, scripting languages, okay, structured languages, they all come under category imperative. Okay. So we have C, we have Pascal, COBOL, basic. Then the modern languages like Python, PHP, JavaScript, they all come under imperative. SQL, HTML, Prolog, Lisp, they all come under declarative. So quickly now we will talk about what are procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented. Because procedure-oriented and object-oriented, they are the two main imperative categories. And we want to learn Java, and Java is the object-oriented. Therefore, first I will talk about object-oriented. Then we will learn some basic buzzwords of OOP, like what is class, what is object, what is encapsulation, all that basic things. And then we will dive into the actual Java part. Okay. So some things may be already known to you, no problem. If you got to know some more things, please take a courtesy of messaging me. Yes, sir, some more points I got to know. Okay. Or if you think I didn't told about this, that too you can message me. Okay. So first we'll talk about procedure oriented programming or procedure oriented paradigm. Okay. So what is the basic idea behind this? So here what they do is whatever complex problem you want to solve, like you want to find a solution for your problem, and that problem is complex problem. Take a very basic example, like you're told to find out addition of two matrices. So you have to accept one matrix, second matrix, then you have to add those two matrices, then print first matrix, second matrix, third matrix. So for doing this, you might see that some things are repeating, like accepting first matrix and accepting second. The logic will be same, only the matrix is changing. Printing three matrices, logic is same, right? Only three times we have to use it. So why to write it three times? Define it once and just call it three times. That is the main approach. So here what I'm saying is you have a complex problem for which you are supposed to write solution. Procedure-oriented programming says what? Use a top-down approach. Divide that problem into smaller problem. Okay, like as I said, addition of two matrices. So I'll make one problem for accepting the matrix. Second problem for adding two matrices. And third, printing the result. So this problem I'll call three times, means I'll take the benefit of it three times. I'll define it once, but I'll call it three times. So it will execute 3 times, but you'll define it once only. Same with this problem, I'll define once, but I'll call 2 times. That way. So what the main intention is, your problem is to be divided into smaller problem. Okay. Sometimes you have to still refine it. Okay. Sometimes if that small problem is yet not small, so you can further divide it. Okay. So it is a top-down approach, divide and conquer approach, divide and conquer. Okay. This approach, divide and conquer strategy is used by our many great kings. If you read about our Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, if you have read about him, he has followed that policies. And see, those techniques we are using in the modern age, we don't know that really these principles were already followed by those people, right? So P is the problem. You divide the problem into smaller problem. And then for each small problem, you have to write a separate sub-program. You call it as a sub-program. You call it as a procedure. You call it as a function. Okay. You call it as a subroutine. So many names are there. So you'll write a separate sub-program for each sub-problem. And then in your main program, you can call them as many times as you want. Like this subprogram, I'm calling 2 times. Then this subprogram 1 time. Then this subprogram 3 times. Okay, so this is the general approach. So what is the general approach of procedure-oriented coding? Divide the problem into smaller problem. And for each small problem, write a separate procedure. Okay, and every procedure is performing some task. Like this is doing the task of accepting. This is doing the task of addition. This is doing the task of printing. Okay, so write a procedure for every task separately, and then all these procedures you can call in your main program as many number of times as you want. Now, these procedures can have their local data inside, which they need it only for their internal purpose. But suppose they want to share some data, like some data, these two procedures want to share. Then there is only one option, keeping the data global. So these are limitations. Okay, you have to keep the data global so that the procedures can share that data. But what happens is by keeping the data global, the security is lost. No importance is given to the data. Understanding, guys, as it is kept global, is it accessible throughout the system? In your whole system, anyone can access that data. So irrelevant functions, like in this example, it is okay, but there are some functions which are irrelevant. They are not supposed to access it, but they also get the access to it because it is kept global. And as it is global, everyone can access it. Understanding, guys? Getting? So importance to what is less in this policy, data. As the data is to be shared, there is only one option, keep it global. But if you keep it global, the security is lost. Throughout the system, it is accessible to anyone. Irrelevant functions also can access it. That is the main problem. And general real life mapping is less. You can do it, but with some extra efforts. Real life mapping means whatever you see in the surrounding, you see student, you see teachers, you see uh, living things, animal, dog, you see non-living things, okay, visible things, invisible things, day, time, stack, queue, all these things, if you want to implement in procedure oriented, you can do it, but not that easy mapping is there, which you can do it in object oriented. Okay, so that is the basic principle. I'm not going into too much detail because from interview perspective, what the basics are needed, that much you should know. Okay, so divide problem into sub problem, and that each sub problem will be called as a function or a procedure or a sub program or a subroutine. So many names are there. Okay, then If these subprograms want to share something, only one option, keep it global. Data to be shared by related functions is kept global. But as it is kept global, it is accessible throughout the program. Anyone can access it. So irrelevant functions also can access, therefore less importance to data. The approach is top down. No? Big problem, you divide into smaller. Get it? I can show it in a pictorial way that the problem is divided into smaller problem. For each small problem, we have written a function, or we call it as a procedure. You'll say, what is the function? The function is a code block which is performing some task whenever called. Whenever you call it, now you'll say, what do you mean by calling? You're requesting it to get executed. Okay. And if these functions need some own data, they'll keep local. And if they want to share it, there is only one option, global. And as I said, real world mapping, poor. You can do it, but again, with not that ease. Okay. So I hope this concept is clear to you. Quick confirmation you can give me. And confirmation I expect in which form? From
Yes, sir,
your
got
voice
it.
form. Okay. So I expect that please give me confirmation, but when you're giving confirmation, please unmute and try to speak with me. Okay. Moving ahead. So procedure oriented is clear to you. Now quickly we will dive into object oriented concept. Okay. So what is the speciality of object oriented? This is also another paradigm coming under imperative category only. It is also in imperative programming concept. Okay. Means what to do and how to do. Both our job. Only the approach of writing program is different. Okay. But they come under that category. And examples of procedure oriented, I didn't mention, but remember examples of procedure oriented programming are like C, very old is Pascal, COBOL, BASIC, they all come under procedure oriented. Some in the modern languages like Python and all, they are multi-paradigm, means they support procedure oriented and object oriented. PHP also. PHP is also a procedure object, it is a multi-paradigm programming language. Now, what is the peculiarity of object? And remember, all these paradigms have not come in one day. They have come by evolution. Evolution means, I hope you know it, how humans have evolved, right or no? Very beginning, the people, humans were not wearing cloth only. Then they invented the concept of cloth, and then the fashion industry improved, and gradually we have become modern humans, right? Same way, these paradigms have come by years. They have not come all one day. Okay. Now, what is the peculiarity of object-oriented programming? Right? Here, the bottom-up approach is there. Directly, we don't consider the system as a whole and divide it into smaller, means top-down approach is not there. Here, we start taking individual entities of the system. Like consider the system as your college. So we will take each entities of it. So who are the entities? Like student, faculty, courses, then their exams, their fees. So all these one by one we will take and we will implement them and then we will combine them into the final system. Okay? So it's a bottom up approach. And here the main concept is they are based on two things, class and object. On that principle, they are based. And in detail about this, we will be learning in the next slides. Don't worry. What is a class? What is the object? Now, just remember what object oriented programming gives facility. It allows you to group related functions, those functions which are related. Okay, it allows you to group all those functions and the data which they are going to share, okay, into some compartment. You can call it as a capsule. Okay. So all those functions which come in that compartment or in that capsule only can share this data. The data is not accessible outside this. The outside world cannot access this data directly. It is accessible only to these functions. Okay. And the outside world can only call these functions. Means they can take the benefit of it. They don't have the knowledge of what is implemented. Okay, but the programmer who has developed it, he knows it. The one who has developed, he knows what is implemented. But the one who is going to use it, they're just going to take the benefit of these functions. Okay, like if you purchase the car, you're not bothered about what is internally happening, right or no? You only know how to use the car, how to ignite it, how to put it into gear, how to accelerate and drive. You're not bothered how internally the power system is, how the petrol is, from petrol the power is generated, how the gearbox is working, how the cooling system is. We are not aware. We are just taking the benefit of it. Getting? Indirectly, I'm talking about abstraction. So here, what the facility they give is you can group related functions and their related data, which was the problem in procedure oriented. The functions which wanted to share the data, we were keeping global, but unrelated functions also could access it. So importance to the data was less. Here the importance is given to the data as well as functions, but to data as well. So related functions and their data is put into a capsule. That capsule will be called as the class. Okay, you can think of it like a design, a blueprint. And from that capsule, you can create copies of it. And that copies will be called as objects. Okay. So you can think about like when mom makes puri in home during summer vacation, puri and amras is a common thing, right? So when she is making puri, she uses one bowl, round shape, and the dough is there, that wheat dough. She rolls it and makes a big roti out of it. And then she presses that bowl. We call it as vati in Marathi. So that bowl she presses and makes lot of puris. One she keeps aside, then picks and puts aside, third, and so many she makes. But for making that, the bowl she has used to press, that is the class. And by pressing, she has created hundreds of puri. They are objects. Okay. So in short, here you get the facility of creating compartments. Importance to the data is there. Data is not easily accessible to the system. It is not freely flowing. It is only accessible to the functions which are within that class. Correct? And this compartment can easily resemble to the real world entity. Any real world entity you take. Okay. Like if you take a real world entity cat. Okay. So here you can put the data of the cat, like cat height, cat weight, cat's breed. Okay. And then the functions which the cat performs, like cat run, cat sleep, cat snore, right? So very easy mapping of whatever real world entities, you can easily put it into programming. And once the class is made, you can create copies of it called objects. Okay. So basic principle you got. Then when we will dive into the OOP concepts, we'll learn in detail about what is object, what is class, everything. Don't worry. Okay. And as I said, initial few sessions will be theoretical based. You have to have patience. Otherwise, some will ask immediately in the next session when we'll start writing program. Please don't ask such things. Getting everything will go by the rule. I go by the rule. Some of you who are attending this session, you're already my students. Some have already attended sessions year back also, right or no? So some are new, some have already attended, some are parallelly doing the work, some are attending some other batches also. Okay, everything goes by the rule. Getting in Hindi we say कायदे से जाना चाहिए, and everything goes by the rule. So you have to go with it. If you want to learn everything, go with the details only. Okay, and you have to invest your time in doing all this. So immediately we cannot start writing with the program unless and until we clear with all these concepts. Okay, we have to go with the history part, then the features, then installing JDK. What is JDK? What is JRE? What is JVM? All that things we have to learn, and then we will start with our first Java program. Okay, so idea about OP. I hope it is clear to you. Here, what we do here, the related functions and the related data, we put it into a compartment. That is the main thing. And OP is based mainly on classes and objects. Represents problem in terms of classes and objects. Where procedure oriented solves the problem in terms of procedures. Divide problem into smaller problem. Then the related functions and their data, we put it into a capsule. Correct? So this is one capsule containing functions and the data. And then we have created three copies of it. This is object one, object two, object three. And then they interact with each other only via functions. Okay. We created a capsule. Then we created copies of those capsules. Those capsules copies will be called as objects. Getting? So I told you, one mold your mom uses. That is, she uses one bowl, a round shaped bowl. And then that bowl she's pressing on that big rolled dough, right? There's the dough, and then using that roller, she rolls it, and then she goes on pressing that bowl on it. And then hundreds of puri she makes. So hundreds of puri, they are objects. This one copy, second copy, third copy. Okay, and then these copies interact with each other through functions. Very best way to do real world mapping. So anything what you see in the real world, living, non-living, visible, invisible thing, everything can be put very easily in OOP. That is the benefit. And that's why for so many years, OOP is still in existence and will not go. Getting? It's more than 50 years, object-oriented programming languages are persisting and still they are there and will be there in the future also. Okay. Okay. So the second concept is also clear. So shall we move with the OP concepts? We can call it as object-oriented programming concepts or OP buzzwords. Buzzwords. There's what you can say, a modern Gen Z students word, right or no? You say LOL, ROFL, LMO. So similar buzzword. Okay. So you can call it as OP buzzword, or you can call it as OP concepts, or you can call as OP pillars. Means these are the concepts on which object-oriented programming is based, right? These are the building blocks. Okay. So in that, the first one which we are going to discuss, that is object. Okay. But before that, just quick confirmation from your side.
Got
Is
it, sir.
everything fine?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So at any moment, if you have doubt or if you want to ask question, so you can, or later, you can ask me. Okay. Moving to the next thing, that is what is object. So these are the OOP concepts, or you can call it as object-oriented pillars. Object, you can say, is a real-life entity implemented in software. Okay, or you can say a software entity representing a real-world entity. And that real-world entity can be a living thing, a non-living thing, a visible thing, a invisible thing. anything. Okay, so you can say like that an object is a software entity which models a real life. Okay, and each and every real life entity, if you consider, as I said, it can be visible, invisible, anything. They all have their own characteristics and they have their own behavior. Okay, they have their own qualities. Okay, they have their own properties. You can say property or an attribute or a characteristic. Like if I take cat, so cat is going to have, but I took an example of cat, so don't assume like sir might be animal lover or something. I'm not hater also nor a lover, getting, uh, I'm not into keeping animals at home, but I don't hate as well. Okay, so if you take cat as an example, so cat is having height, its weight, its color, breed. So they are the characteristics of cat. And every cat will have a behavior as well. It jumps, it runs, it snores, it is sleeping, right or not? So sleeping is the behavior, running is the behavior, snoring is the behavior. So remember, every entity will have characteristics and it will have behavior. And if you want to implement it in programming model, that characteristic will be called as the data and the behavior will be called as the function. Okay. Remember, when you are putting this in a programming model, this real world in a software model. So I told every real world entity is having a characteristic, but when you try to map it in a programming world, it becomes a data. And the behavior, when you try to put it into programming, it becomes a function. So inside the function, you're writing logic, you're implementing algorithm, your business logic, your calculations, your decisions, they all are within it. But inside that function, we are accessing the data. We are manipulating that data. Getting? Always remember, functions contain logic and that logic is accessing the data or manipulating the data. Very much same in the real world. Like in real world, our behaviors control our characteristic. Is it or no? Just imagine when the cat is snoring or when the cat is sleeping. Getting? So when it is sleeping, long time if it sleeps, the weight is gained. Okay. So the characteristics is changing. When the cat is ready to run, it moves its backbone. You might have seen it just makes the backbone up like a camel. So the for time being the height is changed. So in short, what I want to say, behaviors control characteristic. Similarly, functions control data. Functions contain logic, and that logic is accessing or manipulating data. Getting on? No? So many examples to tell you. Like if you're taking a real life entity like a car, if you're considering. So car will have its data like the engine capacity, how much cc engine is there, number of gears, the max speed. Okay. Then the fuel generation system, like whether it is a petrol or CNG or whether it is electric. So they have characteristics. And will it have behavior as well? Yes. You accelerate, you put a brake, you start it, you change the gear. So they are the behaviors. But does the car behavior control the car characteristic? Yes. When you accelerate the car, the speed is changing. Means the characteristics is changing. When you put the brake, speed is reduced to zero. Means in short, the behaviors are controlling characteristics. Okay. Same way, the code is manipulating data. So as I said, like behaviors control characteristic, similarly functions control data. Okay. So I hope you got it. Some examples in the real world I'm showing. We can take example as person. So person will have its characteristic, its behavior. Can we take student? Can we say student is a subcategory of person? So here some inheritance concept come. Means person is a very big category of humans, and in that there is one subcategory of humans called student. Means every student is a person. Every person need not be a student. So student is one subcategory of person. It will have its own characteristic, roll number, email, mobile number, gender, birth date, which stream that student is learning, and then the behavior like get the mark sheet, set their marks, okay, calculate marks. Then we can take account. Account as a non-living thing. We are considering non-living thing, okay. But if it is non-living, real life, but still it will have characteristic. It will have behavior. Like characteristics are account number, type of account, balance value in that account, right? So all that are characteristic. And will it have its behavior? Yes. Opening the account, closing account, withdrawing from the account, depositing in the account. So is this withdraw and deposit going to manipulate characteristics? Yes. The behavior is deposit, behavior is withdraw, and the characteristics is balance. Accounts, one characteristics is balance. So when you deposit, the balance is increasing. When you withdraw, the balance is decreasing. So that's what I want to say. Behaviors control characteristics, same way functions control data. Functions contain logic, and that logic is going to manipulate data. Correct? Then some user defined, these are all real life example I gave. Some user defined objects also I take, like stack. Can we say stack is a list of elements kept above one above another? And from one end only, you can remove or you can add. Right or no? More in a diagrammatic way, I can show that this is a list where you can store the elements, and the elements can be stored from one end only, and from there only you can remove it. So you can say it follows a LIFO structure, last in, first out. The one which is gone last is the first one to come out, and the one who is gone first will come last. See here, first if I put A, then next will be above it. Next will be above it. So now who is eligible to remove? A cannot come first. C will come. Means last in, first out. Get it? So here also we have the data part. What is the data? This list. Then the indicator. Who is the top? Who is the topmost element? That indicator, this list. That becomes your data. And what are the behaviors? Adding the value in it, push, removing the value, pop. They are the behaviors. Correct? When you push, the list is increasing and the indicator comes up. When you pop, the element is deleted, the indicator comes down, the list becomes one less. Okay. Similarly, you might have seen another user defined like stack. Similarly, queue. Queue is similar to stack, but only the thing is it is open from both the end, and from one end you can add, and from the other end you can remove. Therefore, it follows FIFO structure, first in, first out. Correct? And in India, you might have seen queue everywhere, right or no? You go to petrol pump, there is a queue. Toll booth, there is a queue. Railway station, there is a queue. Airport, there is a queue. Everywhere there is a queue. On the in the movie theater, when you are entering, there is a queue. And you have seen there is first in, first out concept. Okay. So here also the data is this list and these two indicators, the tail and the front and the tail, or front and rear, head and the tail. So this list and those two indicator is the data, and the functions are add, delete. Okay. Similarly, date. Now, does date have characteristic? Yes. The day part, the month part, the year part. That is the data part of it. And do date also have functionality? Yes. When you turn the page, so you're adding one day in it. When you again you want to go to the back day, Okay, or when you're turning the whole page of the month only. So adding month, subtracting month, adding two dates, subtracting two dates, they are the behaviors. Same way related to time. Now, by watching this clock, don't relate to me with some party or anything. Huh? Getting? Ultimately, when the whole course is over, you only will realize that this person is from which party. Okay. But if I take clock, so this is representing time, hours part, minutes part, seconds part. Sometimes you have millisecond part also. So that is the characteristic. And functionality is what? The needles are moving. No? So what is happening? Seconds are getting added, minutes are getting added, hours are getting added. You can subtract two times. You can add two times. Okay, so they are all what? Functions. Okay, so in general, I hope you got it that if you take the real world entity and if you want to put it into programming model, the data is representing characteristics and functions, which we generally call methods, are representing behavior. Okay, and functions will contain logic, and that logic is manipulating data. As behaviors control characteristic, functions control data. Okay, so object when mapped to software representation, it will have data, also called as attribute, characteristic, properties, field, state, so many names, right or no? Like you people also have so many names, no? Right? Your original official name. Then your mom calls with some different name. Your best friend calls with different name. Then your favorite person might be calling you with some different name. So all these names are representing whom? One thing only. So here the data you can call attribute, properties, characteristic, fields, everything is one and the same thing. And the function, which we also call method, inside this only the business logic is there. Here the rules are there, calculations are there, formulas are implemented, loops and if else and so many things. But in that logic, what you are manipulating? Data. Okay, so also called methods contain logic which operate on data. So I hope the basic idea you got. Few examples to give you. Okay, how I've made use of AI to generate these images. Getting so that's what only learning language is not sufficient in today's day. Okay, means you are knowing Java, you're knowing Spring Boot and all, but how efficiently you're going to make use of AI tools for the learning process also for developing projects, that is also a task. Okay, so I'll tell you gradually as we'll move ahead, I'll tell how to make use of AI tools for different things. Don't worry for your presentation, which tools you'll use for your test papers, like if you want to give some mock interviews, so how there are AI tools available which will generate and give you mock questions. I'll gradually help you. Don't worry. Your task is just to attend the sessions regularly. So can I take one example of car, right? There. That car will have its own data like color, brand, speed, gear. Now don't say it is having only four gear. Currently it is in fourth gear. Currently it is in fourth gear. Currently it is in 100 speed. Getting? So in this, some data can be static data, like constant data. Some can be changing data. And these are the behaviors. Changing the gear of the car, accelerating the car, moving steering, putting brake. Here the brake spell is this only, yeah, guys. BREAK. Because those who do C programming or Java, they might be knowing the spelling. But putting brake, this is the spell. Take example of a cat. Okay, I've just given my description and AI tool has generated and given me this diagrams. Getting? I didn't do anything on my own. These 90% of the work of my slide is done by AI tool. I've just put animations and all. Okay. These all pictures also AI tool generate and give me. So today, remember, only learning the concepts is also not sufficient. Industry expects from you making smart use of AI tool as well. Okay. So if you take a living object as a cat, it will have color, it will have height, it will have weight, it will have breed also, and some behaviors like run, snore, jump, sleep. So see, when it is about to jump, it does its backbone up. So for time being, this behavior has manipulated height. Yes or no? Or sometimes if it is sleeping and it is sleeping somewhere in the mud, so the color may get modified. So in short, the behaviors control data. Take another example of a balloon. Okay, so if you take a balloon, will it have color? Will it have shape, diameter, type? Type means by what you have expanded it, by putting water in it, air or gas. Okay, so these are the characteristics. And what are the common behaviors of a balloon? As you go on putting air in it, it starts expanding to expand. Okay, then if you remove the air from it, so it is deflating it. Or suppose you put a pin on it, you're pricking it. Pricking means you're putting a pin on it, so it will burst and it will make some noise as well. So all these are behaviors. And are these behaviors controlling these characteristics? Yes. As you go on expanding, is the diameter changing, guys? Yes. If you burst it, is the diameter becoming zero? Sometimes if you are expanding, the color may become light. Initially, if it is dark red, and as it goes on expanding, it becomes lighter. So, in short, expand is changing the color as well. So behaviors control data or functions control data. So few examples I gave, few from your side I'm expecting. Okay. Uh, Boys can answer one, girls can answer one. Any one example which you see in the surrounding and you can say these are the characteristics of it and these are the behaviors of it. Can I expect answer from you? Sure. I'm sure about it. You will answer. Okay. Don't worry that am I supposed to answer in English? If you're initially if you're not comfortable, no problem. Speak in your mother tongue. But mother tongue in English, Hindi, Marathi only. Yeah? Now you'll say like my mother tongue is Kannada, can I? Okay. Some languages still I know, like comfortably Gujarati, Konkani. These are my concern. I'm associated, so I can understand them. But you may say like, can I speak in French, German? So no, guys. Okay. Sanskrit is okay. That too I can manage because we have learned in schools. So I expect at least Hindi or Marathi. Sorry, Hindi or English. Okay. Though I'm proud of Marathi, my mother tongue is Marathi. But if you want to go to pan India, like you want to expand yourself, entire India, entire globe, then we can manage with these two languages. Okay. So quickly, can anyone tell me any one example other than this three? Let's see. Just you tell me the characteristics and the behavior. Anything what you see in the surrounding. Yes, I'm sure you will answer. No? Quickly, quickly. Anyone can unmute and you can answer. And don't worry, if you are wrong, I'm there to rectify it. I'm there to modify it. No? Chalo, fast, fast, fast. My intention is to improve your confidence as well. Huh. Yes, someone has unmuted. Speak. No, it should not take
Sir,
so much
fan.
time.
Example is fan.
Fan. Okay, you want to say fan.
Yeah,
Okay.
for example, its color as a data, it could be a color, its shape, or a company, let's say, as a data.
Okay.
And in a function, we can say it's running or we are stopping it, let's say,
Yes.
or we are
Start,
increasing the speed
stop,
of it. Yeah,
speed. Very good. Like that positions are there, no? It is
correct.
having a regulator. So
Yes,
you can take to one position, two position, three position accordingly. So
correct.
they are the behaviors, starting the fan, stopping that fan. And the characteristic of fans, the number of blades, whether it is three blade, four blade, which company, the color.
Yes,
Okay. and then some more other characteristics. Very good, very good. It's a right example. Properly identified, right? Some other from boys' side also, all want job, no? That's the reason I keep taking the poll in the group to find out what the main purpose is. Okay. Even I'll be checking what technologies you are aware of, how much latest things you are knowing. All that types of polls I'll keep taking. Huh. Chalo, someone wants to speak.
So will a table work? Like having data like its shape, its color, its wood quality.
Okay, maybe you want to say your table, or currently I've kept my laptop on a table and I'm delivering
Yes,
the
sir.
lecture. So
Yes.
table, you want to say its width, its height,
Yes, yes.
right? Or no, the
Then it
width
will
of the
have
table, the height,
functions. Functions it
length,
would
width,
have like
breadth. Okay, the color of
yes,
the
yes,
table. Okay,
yes,
and then the functionality you want to say, like you can fold it or no. Okay,
yes, sir.
you can move it from one place to another. Means does it have a wheel, right? So I
Yeah,
think
the
it is up
storage
to you.
capacity.
I mean, does it have a drawer and is it having a
Yes,
drawer, a
yes,
compartments and all those things? Right, right.
yes, sir.
No problem. Okay. Then from boys' side, still no answer. How come? Then don't blame that all the jobs girls take and then we don't get any job. Don't say like that. No, from boys' side, I'm expecting some answer. No, tell me if you want to answer, just unmute and answer. You need to be, you have to develop confidence as well. Speaking, your communication skills, you don't get it immediately by magic in one day. Gradually, you have to improvise yourself. Okay. Okay. Now I cannot wait for much time. I was expecting boys also will answer. We will move ahead with the second part. Second part we have to discuss, that is class. So object and class, and then I related that in programming what a object is and what a class is. I'll relate it with the programming principles as well. Okay. So what is a class, you can say? Theoretically, we can say class represents a group of objects of same type. Means those objects which are having same characteristics, same behavior. Values can be different of the characteristic. You understanding? That characteristic values are different, but they all belong to same category. Getting? Like this is one cat. Now I'm not good in drawing, though my daughter is doing the degree in that only. But what I want to say as a representational, this is one cat, second cat, third cat, but all a cat only, because they are sharing same characteristics, same behavior. Only the value of characteristic can be different. Means the color. All three have color, but the value may be different. This is white, this is black, this is gray. Okay, generally red, yellow cats we don't see. Then height, maybe this cat height is different height, but still they share height. So characteristics are same, but the values are different. Okay, and the behaviors. Every cat will have a same behavior. So all the objects of the same type, getting, will represent one class. And that class will be given some name. I'll call it as a cat. Okay. And then this is one cat, second cat, third cat. So this can be money, this can be kitty, this can be bokya, getting. But they all are cat only. Understanding? Many other examples. Like if I'm considering a car, okay. So one car, second car, third car, fourth car, they all are representing car. Maybe the color of one car and the color of another car is different. Maybe the engine capacity is different. The fuel the power generation system may be different, but all are cars only. They are sharing same characteristics, same behavior. So their group will represent a class called car. Correct? So theoretically, what you can remember, a class is a group of objects of the same type. Objects which share same characteristics, same behavior. So in this category, I cannot put a bike over here because bike doesn't share characteristics with them. The behaviors and the characteristic of bike is different. So I have to put it into other group or another class. So basic concept you got. What is a class? So class is a group of objects of the same type. Objects which are sharing same characteristics, same behavior. Okay. So all those objects which are sharing same characteristics, same behavior represents one group, and that will be called as a class. Okay. Then you can also say that class describes the nature of your object. Class describes the characteristic and the behavior of your object. Means how your object will be. What will be the characteristics of the object? What will be the behaviors of the object? Okay, that who describes class. So class generally describes the nature, the form of your object. You can say like that class is a blueprint, class is a design, class is a template, and the objects are production of that blueprint or production of that design. Getting? So example, if I take car, so there is an automobile engineer and he has designed that car completely using the software. Nowadays software, previously they used to do it through mechanical drawing. Okay, so now we have that drawing software. So he has completely designed like where the chassis will be and how the bonnet will open, the wheels mechanism, everything. Okay, the power generation system, everything he has designed. And whatever design he has made, okay, will be called as the class. And from that design, the design is given to the production floor. And then the production people, by taking the design, they will make hundreds of cars and bring on the road. So on the road, hundreds of cars have come, but they all are from that one design. So those hundreds of cars which are made from that one design are objects. But the design which they have used for making these objects will be called as a class. Getting? So many examples. You know, today I gave an example of that bowl when mom prepares puri. Okay. So if I consider that your mom is making cookies at home, so she is going to make a dough for that cookies. Dough, you understanding that flour will be there, then she'll put water and then flavor, then sugar and so many things, essence, and then she will mix it and she'll make a dough and then she'll roll it and she'll make a big roti out of it. We call it as a roti. And then she's having some aluminum mold or a plastic mold. Okay, suppose the mold is of star shape. So she'll go on pressing it on that dough, right? She'll press it. Okay, and after pressing, she'll pick it and put it in one tray. Okay, in a big tray. And that tray, she'll put it in an oven and hundreds of cookies are made. You eat it, you enjoy it. So all those cookies which are made are object. But for making that cookies, the mold she has used, the aluminum mold or a plastic mold, that mold is the design. That is the template. That is the blueprint. And from that, she has made that hundreds of cookie. That design is the class. I hope you understand. So many examples to give. No? Like when a building is getting constructed, so suppose that entire building is going to have 3 BHK flats. Okay, so interior designer is there. So he'll make a complete blueprint of that flat, where the entry will be, where the main uh, living room will be, then the hall, then other rooms where the WC will be, kitchen. Entire design is made, and then that is handed over to the civil engineer, and civil engineer will try to make 64, 32, 128 flats in that building. All that flats which are made in that building are objects, but every flat is following that design which that architect gave. So the design which the architect gave is a class. I hope it is clear. So many examples to give. Getting? So if you consider class, it is a template, it is a blueprint, it is a design, and objects are the production of that design. So if you consider from the programming aspect, objects take space, object take memory, class doesn't. It will take one time only in the source code. In the source code, it will take the space. But actual, when your program run, who is going to occupy space? Objects, and that are duplicated again and again. 10 objects, 10 times duplicated. 50 objects, 50 times duplicated. Okay. So if I consider from the programming aspect, you can say class resembles data type. Okay. It is representing what? Data type. And objects resemble variables of that data type. Getting? So you have little bit knowledge about, if you have little bit knowledge about C or C++, so there, if you don't have, leave it. Okay. Just understand what I'm telling. I'm creating two variables, X and Y, X and Y. And I'm telling that these two variables are of data type integer. Okay. So if you are talking in OOP perspective, object oriented point of view, we will say X and Y are objects of class integer. Why? Because they both are going to share the characteristics of an integer. Getting? Whatever the quality of an integer is, they both have to follow. The value in this and this can be different, but they are two copies of it. Understanding? So if you resemble to programming, variables are the objects, okay, and the data type of that variables are classes. So can we say class is a data type only? It is generally called as an abstract data type because the data which is getting processed inside that capsule, outside world cannot directly access, and the logic is implemented in the method, and outside world can only access the methods. They can take the benefit of it. You can just drive the car, you can stop it, you can accelerate it, but you don't know the internal functionality, how the gearbox mechanism is, how the power generation mechanism is. We don't know. It is like that, relating. Okay. So generally, why we call it as abstract data type? Because the functions only the outside world know. But what is implemented in that function, they don't know. And what data is getting processed, outside world directly don't know. They cannot access it directly. It is only within the capsule. Okay. So data type is the class and the variables of data type are object. As an example, if I take, I'm creating one capsule called cat and I'm creating two copies of it. One is money and another is kitty. Getting? In India, universally accepted names of cat. Okay. Either they have the name kitty or money. So money and kitty are the two copies of cat. Money will take space, kitty will take space. But money and kitty both are sharing the characteristics and behavior of cat. Their values can be different. The age of money, the color of money can be different than kitty. But characteristics are same. Behavior is the same. But there are two copies of this cat. So cat is the class and money and kitty are objects of that cat. Agreed? So if you map it with the programming model, always remember class will represent data type and the copies of that class, that is variables, will represent objects. Okay. So no need to elaborate too much more on it. Quickly we can go through it. Okay. See. So what I said, class is a collection of objects of similar type. Okay. That set of objects that share common characteristics and behavior. Those who are sharing same behavior, same characteristic makes a class. Okay. Every class describes the form, the nature, how my cookie will be. Will it be in a star shape, or will it be in a flower shape, or will it be a round shape? So it is describing the nature, how that flat will look, the entry, the windows, everything. So that is described by that design, no, which that architect gave, or the automobile engineer gave the design of car, right or no? So it is describing the form or the nature of your car, right? So it is a blueprint, or you can call it as a template, or you can call it as a design. And remember, template or the blueprint doesn't take space, objects take. Okay. And user defined data types. The classes are created by we people. No? We create classes. Therefore, we call them as user defined. And what is there inside it? The data and the functions. Okay. Functions contain logic in which that data is getting manipulated. And when you create copies of it, they will be called as objects. So from one design, can I create hundreds of copies? Yes, guys. From one design, we can create hundreds of copies. So hundreds of copies which we have created, they take space. They are objects. Okay. And if you match it with the programming principle, then we can say data type is class and the variables of that data type are objects. And in programming also, tell me, do variables take space? Yes. Okay. But how much space is to be allocated to each variable? Is it depending on the data type? Yes. What the data type is will decide how much space is to be allocated. Here also, class will decide how much space to be given. Correct? So always remember, objects take space, class doesn't. So class never takes memory, but objects of it take. Okay. Example to give. See here, I told you, dough means what you know, no? Where the flour and dough is different. Getting from the flour mill, when you bring, you just grind wheat and you bring it, it is flour. But when you put water in it and you knead it, kneading is done. Okay, so that is called as dough. So she has prepared a dough with different flavors, then sugar, so many things she has put, and then the kneading is done, the dough is made, and through the roller, she has rolled and made it such big circle. And now she's having an aluminium or plastic mold and she's going to press on it. And after pressing one by one, she'll pick it and put it in a tray and then put that tray in oven. It is baked and then you enjoy it. Getting? So each cookie is the object. But is every cookie sharing a same characteristic, same behavior? Yes, because they all are made from same mold. Getting? So here you can say the mold is a class, and from that mold, the copies which you made are objects. And if all the objects are put into one place, so you can call it as the collection of objects of same type is a class, and the members of that class are objects. Getting? So many other examples. Like this is design of the car. So that design is the class. And from that design, if you have created so many cars with different colors and different model and different engine capacity, so hundreds of cars which are coming on the road, they are objects. And the design which they use for making it, that will be called as a class. Okay. So many examples to give. I hope till here everything is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then one more buzzword we have to discuss, that is encapsulation. So that will take for today, and then we will take a pause for today's session. And then in the next session, we will talk about history of Java and gradually. Okay, after that, we'll take features of Java and then first Java program. Like that, our whole journey will be. Okay, so have patience, as I said. What we'll do is one more feature we are going to take, that is encapsulation. Okay, so what do you mean by encapsulation? Very simple terminology, process of creating class, the mechanism of creating class. And when you're creating class, what you're putting? The related data, which you want that should not be accessible throughout the system. So related data and the functions which are related. Okay, inside which you are implementing logic, calculations, decisions, loops, and in that this data is getting accessed or manipulated. So all the related functions and the data which they want to share, that when you put it into a capsule, okay, that capsule will be called as a class. So mechanism of creating class. And when we are creating class, what you are doing? We are putting the related data inside it, the related functions. We are implementing algorithms inside them. And in that, we are accessing the data and we are manipulating that data. Okay. So process of binding the related functions and data into one single entity will be called as encapsulation. Getting? But encapsulation leads to abstraction. Means encapsulation will give abstraction. How? What they're trying to do is this data is only accessible. Now you'll say how they do it. There are access specifiers. Don't worry, we will be learning all that in programming. So this data is only accessible to these functions. The outside world means we programmer, getting, cannot directly access that data. We can only create copies of it and access these methods and take the benefit of it. Getting? So if this capsule is a car and here the data is engine capacity, number of gears, then average, color, model, make, so many things. And then the functions are like start, stop, or accelerate, or change gear. Okay, so all these are manipulating that data. So now outside world cannot access this data directly. They can only create copies of it and call these methods, that is functions, and take the benefit of it. Okay, so in short, encapsulation will give you abstraction. And you'll say, what do you mean by abstraction? Abstraction means hiding the important things and making only the relevant things visible to the users. Users, in short, programmers or the outside world. Means only the thing which is needed will make it visible. And the things which are not, we are keeping it hidden. That process is called abstraction. Like as I said, no, when we buy car to the end user, the one who is going to use the car, they only show the things which are needed. The dashboard is there inside the car, the outer things, right or no? The steering, chair, and all. You sit, you start, and then you put in gear and you drive it. But lot of internal things like internally how the engine is working, how the coolant is moving everywhere and is providing the cooling to it, how from the petrol the power is generated. Getting? Everything is hidden to us. No? Only the relevant things are made available. All other things are kept hidden as you use the mobile phone. So for mobile phone also there are characteristics, there are behavior, but a lot of things are unknown. We only know how to start it, how to increase volume, how to capture videos, how to take snaps. But lot of things inside that cell phone are kept hidden to us. Okay, so this is also a very common interview question. They ask like, what thing you saw while coming to the interview? If your interview is offline, correct? Or if it is online, they'll ask, see in the surrounding and then tell me any one thing which is abstract. Getting? So you should be immediately able to tell. Like car is the best example. You take medicinal capsules also. Medicine capsules. Say a lot of ingredients are put in it in that capsule, and we just consume it. We take the benefit of it. We are many common people doesn't know. If you are from that background, pharma background or some science background, you read and you try to understand. But a common man just consumes it, takes the benefit. Lot of things are encapsulated inside it, and they are hidden. So generally, many people confuse between abstraction and encapsulation. Encapsulation will give abstraction. Means because of encapsulation, we achieve abstraction. Getting? So encapsulation is just process of binding the functions and the data into a class. But this binding is done in such a way that data is only accessible to the function, not to the outside world. Outside world can only call the function and take the benefit. So in short, the outside world doesn't know the logic. They don't know what data is getting processed. They are taking the benefit of it by creating copy and then calling the methods. Getting? So what is encapsulation? That is also clear to you. See, the process of binding data and functions into a single unit, that is class, is called and it is a standard definition. You take a book, you take any standard books of Java, like you take complete reference, Herbert Shield, or very basic exam book you want, then you can take YP Kanitkar's Let Us Java or Balaguru Swami. These are all very elementary books. Getting? And if you want a very good professional book, then go for complete reference. Okay. And if you don't want to read only books, so you can ask to your AI tool, you'll get the same definition. You Google, then also you'll get the similar definition. So it's a standard, universally accepted definition. See, as an example of capsule, I'm told, inside the capsule, we have data, then the functions, and the outside world can only access the function. They don't know what data is getting processed inside it. Getting? So just like a capsule hides medicine and protects it from the outside access, class also hides what? Functions and data. And the outside world can only call that function and take the functionality. They don't know what data is getting processed inside it. Okay. As a common example, I'm taking as a person. Getting? And so many examples through AI tool I've generated. I'm telling I'm telling it with a proud way that how to make the best use of AI. Getting? Best use of AI to generate revenue, to learn new things. Okay. So I'm taking an example of class person. So person is having its data like name, age, address, but the access specifier is given such a way that it is kept private. So as it is private, not directly accessible outside. And then there are some functions which are going to work on that data. Getting? Like there are some setters and getters. From outside, I'm passing name, it will store it in this private name. I'm asking for name, so it will give that private name to the outside world. Okay, so these are the functions, and this is the data. The data is kept private. Therefore, we can say data is hidden from outside world and can be accessed only through methods. These methods can access it. Okay, user cannot directly access the data. Okay, so indirectly putting the data and the related functions into that capsule, and the name to the capsule is person. That process will be called as encapsulation, and the data which I put in that capsule I've kept private, because of which I achieve abstraction. Getting? It is data abstraction is also there and logic abstraction is also there. Remember, both are there. We have logic abstraction also and data abstraction also. Okay. Logic abstraction means what business logic is implemented, what formulas, calculations, outside world doesn't know. They only call the method and take the benefit of it. Okay. As I told them, you accelerate the car, you change the gear, but you don't know the mechanism of that gearbox. You don't know how the speed is increasing when you accelerate. So all that things are kept hidden. to the outside world. Only the relevant things are made available. Okay. So I hope whatever things were told to you in today's session, paradigm, programming paradigm, imperative, declarative, procedure oriented, object oriented, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, all these terminologies, I hope are clear. If not, go through it. Okay. Ask me, search some other resources. Okay. So for today, we will take a pause over here. In the next session, we will be discussing about Java history. Okay. So thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.